Hello, and welcome to Navigating the Future of Trucking and Transportation with me, your host, Jerri Banks. Hey, look, if you're new here, welcome. Do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Because on this show, we talk about automation and autonomy and new technology entering into the trucking and transportation industry. I share traditional truck driving jobs. These are jobs that are already out there that our agency actively hires for. In addition, I share jobs in the autonomous sector. If you didn't watch the replay from yesterday, make sure you go back and check out the Trucking Operations Specialist 1 job that I shared. And I specifically focus on not just the position and your duties in the job, but I focus on the desirables, what they're looking for in that particular position. Because as truckers, we're used to checking all the boxes. We're not used to hearing about the desirables that the company's looking for. And then lastly, on the learning lane, I share actionable tips and tools and advice that you can take and put in your toolbox that's going to help you reskill and upskill for the new future that our industry is moving into. So again, if you are new here, welcome. Make sure that you are tapped in with me across all of my platforms. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel and you turn on notifications so that you never miss an opportunity when I go live. Today's show is full of information. We're going to be talking about a self-driving shuttle service at an airport. And I share these things because I want you to see that we're seeing more and more self driving enter into our world where we live, work, and play. And it's very important that you're aware of the things that are out there so that you can prepare yourself, prepare your skills and your knowledge for what is to come. So we'll talk about self-driving shuttles being debuted at one particular U.S. airport. I'll share a traditional truck driving job. This is a Dollar Tree out of the South Carolina, North Carolina area. And then in the learning lane, I'm going to talk about, and I want you to stick around for that. That's my favorite part of the show. I'm going to talk about how being a mentor at your company or how being an instructor at your company in the trucking industry is going to help you advance your career in the new future of trucking and transportation. When we come back, we'll get this show started. I'm Jerri Banks. Our agency focuses on driver recruitment and driver education. We focus on helping drivers and preparing them for the future of trucking and transportation as autonomous vehicles and automation enters the industry. Our goal is to ensure that you are equipped with the skills that you need to be successful in this new way of life. So make sure you connect with me across all of my platforms. Jerri Banks, Autonomous Trucking. I look forward to connecting with you. Yes, I definitely look forward to connecting with you. Make sure you are connected with me across all of my platforms. And if you have not downloaded my free ebook, make sure you download that. I'll drop the link in the description box. But that ebook is going to help you understand the key players. It's going to help you learn and know the skills that you need in order to prepare for this new future that we're moving into. Speaking of new future, let's talk about shuttles, self-driving shuttles at the airport. Now, a lot of you may or may not know, my background is in aviation. So at 18 years old, I started working, and this is just, I was dropping a friend off at the airport and, small town girl in the big city. And I'm like, that's interesting. That's interesting. I might need to look into that. And immediately I got on at the airport and I worked in aviation 10 years at the airport. working for a commercial airliner, and then 10 years at outside of the airport working for a private aviation company that handled the logistical planning and overflight permits and landing permits and all the things for private aircraft, people that had their own airplane. And I remember when um, the airport, and this dates me back because I started in 1997, y'all, at the airport. But I remember when they started doing construction at the airport and they started building the trains. So they had the underground train, and I'm in Houston, so Bush Airport is the airport that I worked at. I know that airport backwards and forwards from the basement all the way up in the terminal areas. But I remember when they started building the trains. I remember when they started building the above ground trains and the underground trains. And those trains, it was a lot of like speculation and, fear that those trains, because they were not manned by an operator, that oh, they're going to run off the track, or oh, this is going to happen, and oh, that is going to happen. But fast forward 30, oh my goodness, 30 years later, those trains are still operating. They're doing just fine. I was just at Bush last week. A lot of the Hurricane Beryl came through Houston, and during Hurricane Beryl, I was sitting in the airport in Terminal A that entire time waiting on my flight. It ended up getting canceled, but the airport, just a fun fact, the airport's probably the safest place that you can be during a hurricane. There was no damage. We still had Wi-Fi. I was just working like nothing else was going on, but there was a hurricane going on outside. But 30 years later, those trains, I actually rode between Terminal B and Terminal C, and the above ground train, and that train still runs. It still operates, and it still operates without without a driver, without someone manning that particular train. Now, I'm sure there's people doing it remotely, and they're managing and monitoring it remotely. But I want to talk about the autonomous shuttle, self-driving shuttle that is debuting at a U.S. airport, and so it's called Omeos. It's Omeos SAE Level 4 bus, and it can carry 8 passengers, and it does around 15 stops. Now, the tech isn't quite mainstream yet, but it is at one of the busiest airports in the United States, and that is John F. Kennedy, JFK Airport in New York City. And it started a 3-month long trial of these driverless shuttles. And instead of, at the terminal, it's actually doing it in the parking lot. And so they're going to have these shuttles. They're level 4 shuttles. Level 4 means they drive by themselves, and they're able to carry 8 passengers. And they're going to serve again a route with 15 stops around JFK. And a number of robo taxi developers, because essentially these are robo taxis, and which is it's operated by a robot, and it drives around without a person in it. And so essentially they've revealed additional designs of similar shuttle buses that could be used as part of like ride pooling or carpooling services in the city. They haven't gotten in real world traffic. They're just driving in the parking lot. And these are automated buses. But we've had automated trains in airports between terminals and parking lots and things like that for quite some time. Like I said, back in the late 90s, I was riding in the trains. I remember the trains being built. And again, this is just evolution. This is just the progress of what we're seeing from a technological standpoint. But it's an 8 passenger shuttle, and it's going to serve JFK's long-term parking lot 9, making 15 stops, and just 2 shuttles right now. Just 2 of the shuttles are going to be part of this pilot program, and the rides will be free for airport travelers. Now, you do have to wear your seatbelt, and you do have to stay seated. I was in Vegas last week for working with one of my aviation clients. And I remember getting on the train in Vegas. And look, Vegas, if you're on here, your train goes really fast and you have to hold on. If you don't hold on to those rails, you will fall down. So, I like that they say put your seatbelts on. I like that they say hold on, and you do have to remain seated. But essentially, they are preparing today for the future by moving forward with these testing of the self-driving technology, and they're doing it within a controlled environment, which is the airport. But eventually, I guarantee they're going to want to move this into the city and allow this technology to transition for shuttles and buses and things like that. But again, I've got the picture of the bus right here, and again, it's Omio, OHMIO is the shuttle bus. Go take a look at it, check it out, and learn more about it. And again, I want you to ensure that you are subscribed to some of these newsletters. Subscribe to some of this information. This newsletter was brought to us, or this article was brought to us by Auto Week. Auto Week published this article just yesterday, and sharing about a self-driving shuttle that is going to be shuttling people around the parking lot at JFK Airport. So again, Auto Week is a great resource. Make sure you're subscribed to their newsletter so you can stay up to date on what's going on in your industry, whether you're in trucking, in aviation, in railroad, in pipeline. The transportation industry is changing, and so we have to stay abreast, stay informed, and stay ahead of the times. Now, speaking of self-driving technology, self-driving companies, there's quite a few in the trucking industry that are making strides, and it's important that you're aware. So I want you to make sure that you're looking up and researching companies such as Kodiak Robotics, companies such as Torque Robotics, Aurora Innovation, and Waby and Gatic. Those are the top 5 companies that are making strides in the self-driving truck and self-driving technology sector. Do your research. Waymo is another one, and I'll share my Waymo video of me riding in a self-driving Waymo car. This was actually in Phoenix, Arizona, and I want you to drop in the comments. Let me know if you've experienced or seen a self-driving vehicle, a self-driving robo taxi. If you got to ride in one, self-driving bus. Let me know if you've seen one. I'm going to share my video real quick. This is of me riding in a Waymo robo taxi, almost like an Uber. I had to use my phone to download the app to catch it. But Waymo is currently in San Francisco, Los Angeles, Phoenix, Arizona. Austin, and I've heard that they're looking at going over to Atlanta as well. So here's my video, my experience in a self-driving robo-taxi. What better way to see the future than to experience it yourself? On a recent business trip to Phoenix, Arizona, I got to see the Waymo self-driving car firsthand. It was so prevalent on the streets of downtown Phoenix that I saw one on nearly every corner. This is the I-Pace Jaguar. It's sleek, clean, and eco-friendly. So of course I had to try one out myself. I could only unlock the door through the app. It required that I buckle up, just like in any other car. The experience was like none other. I could pick my music on the screen, the vehicles that were in front of us and on the side of us and behind us. Most importantly, I felt safe. The car was extremely cautious, watching for pedestrians, stopping at red lights, going when it needed to go. And at one point, another car even swerved in our lane. The car did exactly what I would have done as a driver. Waymo is currently in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Phoenix, and Austin, Texas. I can't wait till it comes to my city. I'd like to hear from you. Are you ready for the Waymo experience? Let me know. Let me know if you're ready for the Waymo experience, or if you've already ridden in a Waymo self-driving taxi. Let me know. Drop it in the comments. I love to hear about your experience as well. Now, moving right along, I want to share a dedicated dollar store account. As all of you know, we are a recruitment and an education agency. Our foundation since 2017 has been recruiting truck drivers, partnering with companies that are looking for drivers to fill their open positions. And we have traditional truck driving jobs. That I share every day on the show. And this particular position, it is for the driver with at least 3 months of experience, a good driving record and background. No violations in the clearinghouse on this particular position. And you need to be willing to be out at least 1 week at a time. So you're out for a week and then you're home for a 34-hour reset. You have to be able to pass a hair and a urine drug screen. Um, Again, this position is a dollar store account. If you're not familiar with dollar stores, I will drop my video in the description box of me explaining everything that you need to know on the dollar store. I'll also include an ebook that I've written. I've actually co-written with my son, who works on a dedicated dollar store account, and he has given all the tips and all the tricks and all the things that you need to know about working on a dedicated dollar store account. I'll drop that here, that link in the description box as well. Now, this position is 100% driver touch freight. If you're new to the industry, what that means is that you will be touching freight. You will be unloading the trailer piece by piece, box by box. And so this position is hiring within 120 miles of Shelby, North Carolina, and the distribution center is out of Cowpen, South Carolina. So you're going to be delivering to locations and stores for Dollar Tree within South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, like in that whole Southeast region. You'll be delivering to those types of stores. Now, you typically average about 3 to 4 loads a week, and that's pulling 3 to 4 trailers a week. Again, you do unload the trailer. So you typically pick up a live load, and then when you're back hauling to the DC, sometimes you take back different things. Now, the average pay, the average weekly salary for a driver on a dedicated dollar store account, this particular one, ranges between $1,400 to $1,666. So that's an average of about $72,000 a year, just under $73,000 a year on a dedicated dollar store account. Now, your days off on these accounts, either Friday night to Saturday or Saturday night to Sunday, because typically you have to be staged and at the store first thing Monday morning, so that you can be ready to stock the store up for the week. Now, these are sleeper trucks. They're automatic sleepers. So if you have a restriction on your license, it's not an issue. Um, you're going to be pulling 53-foot dry van trailers, and you can take the truck home to park it as long as you've got like a safe area to park the truck. And if you live anywhere near the distribution center, because the distribution center is in Cowpens, you can park it there. They've got a place for you to park it there. But again, need 3 months of experience, got to be willing and able to unload the truck. And let me share my son unloading the truck. It's a fast video, it goes fast, but those kids, they know how to work all those fast and slow-mo and all those things. I'm not the tech savvy, however, but it's a fast video, but it gives you a depiction of unloading that trailer and what that looks like. He's about halfway through, so that means he's probably on stop number 3. For that, maybe stop number 4 on this particular trailer. And then once he's done with this trailer, he loads up anything that needs to go back to the distribution center, goes back to the DC, unhooks that trailer, gets a new load, and then goes back out to the different stores. Let's check it out. Now, as you can see, what he's doing is he's taking box by box and he's putting it on rollers, and the item goes down on the rollers and into the store. And at the bottom of the roller, there is a store clerk that is unloading those boxes and putting them in on a cart or in an area so that they can then in turn go stock the store up. Now, here's why I like dollar store accounts. And not a lot of people like dollar stores, but the reason why I like dollar stores is because when America is saving money, right? When America is on, you know, they're saving money and looking to ensure that they are under their budget and they can feed their family and all of those things, guess where they go shop? America shops at dollar stores. And the reason why is because it's less expensive than your Walmart or your Target, um, and even sometimes your Amazon. They would rather save the money and then go to dollar stores. There are dollar stores with full grocery stores in them. But it's so important that when the economy's down and the inflation is up, that you're saving money. And so what that says to a driver who is on the dollar store account is that you're going to always have freight, is that you will rarely be sitting and you will continuously have freight. So if this dollar store sounds like something that you might be interested in, text dollar stores to 832-572-5277. And I'm going to have Sarah pop up the information on the screen. It's dollar stores. There it is. Text Dollar Tree to 832-572-5277. Dollar Tree is the position that we're talking about today. It is open. I have some spots open. I want to get you on it. Now, the processing, it typically takes about 24 hours for me to, maybe even less than that, for me to know once we submit your application, for me to know if you can get approved. And then once you're approved, we're able to set you up for orientation. Now, the orientation typically is either on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday. And once you go to orientation, it takes about 3 days. It takes about 3 days for orientation. The first day is going to be your drug screen, your paperwork, learning about the company. That's your first day, filling out all those paperworks and going through the drug screen. It's a hair and a urine drug test. Now, day two, it's more learning about the company. You're going to do your road test. You're going to learn more about the account and the operation. And then also on dollar stores, and this is one thing that I forgot to share, but on dollar stores, you typically have to do a physical, right? So they want to ensure that you are physically fit and you can perform the duties that are required by a dollar store. Now, if you saw my son in that video, he was unloading those boxes. You have to lift up, you have to stoop down, you have to be really physically fit. And so in the dollar stores, you have to take what they call a physical standards test. A physical standards test, in addition to your medical card that you have to get. Typically, with the companies, you get a new medical card. You have to go through a new physical, but this is different from the physical that you get for your medical card. This is a physical standards test, and they do. They make you lift something. They make you lift something over your head. They make you do a duck walk, and if you don't know what a duck walk is, you're kind of on your walking kind of on your stooping to walk to make sure that like you can go up under the trailer if you ever need to go up under there. But you do a duck walk, you stand on one leg for a couple seconds, you stand and balance on another leg for a couple seconds. And so you have to pass that physical standards test in order to be able to get on a dollar store account. And most companies, no matter which company, because a lot of companies have these accounts, no matter which company you go to, more than likely, you're going to be doing a physical standards test. That's important for them to make sure that you can actually do the work that's required of you on the dollar store accounts. Again, the dollar stores, they are always with freight. We have one open in the Missouri area. We have one open on the East Coast. We have dollar store. Actually, I have one down in Georgia, Savannah area. So we have dollar stores in quite a few places. So if dollar store is something that you're interested in, reach out to the team. The girls are standing by to answer your calls, answer your questions about it, get you processed and approved. Because by day 3 of orientation, you're getting your truck, getting assigned your truck, and you're going out to pull your first load. So, again, if this is something that you're interested in, make sure you reach out to the girls. They are standing by. When we come back, I'm going to wrap up with our learning lane. The learning lane, again, is the place where you learn and I give actionable tips that you can use to put in your toolbox for the future of trucking and transportation. We'll be right back. When it comes to autonomous trucks entering the trucking and transportation industry, up until now, you've only heard bits and pieces, news here, news there. There's been no centralized place for you to learn about autonomous trucks. Join me every Wednesday and Thursday and Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time as I share information, news, and education on how you can stay prepared for autonomous trucks and autonomy entering the trucking and transportation industry. Welcome back. Welcome back. And thank you so much for being here. If you are not tapped in with me across all of my social media platforms, make sure you do. Make sure you do. I am a wealth of information, 30 years of information and knowledge and expertise across the transportation industry, not just trucking, aviation as well. So I'm sharing tips and tools and things that you can put in your toolbox to help you excel in the trucking and transportation or aviation industry. Moving right along to our learning lane. This is probably my favorite part of the show because I get to share tips that I feel would be beneficial for you to be able to excel in the industry. And in today's learning lane, I want to talk about the impact of mentorship and instructors, being an instructor in the trucking industry. And from a mentor perspective, um, as we're seeing more and more automation and more self-driving tech entering into the industry, one of the key things and the key characteristics that they're wanting in an individual is safety, safe driving, safe background. That is so crucial. And so I want you to explore at your company, at another company, explore how you can become a mentor for either a new driver or a not so new driver coming into the industry, or how you can transition to become and learn how to be an instructor or a safety instructor, safety mentor, because this only elevates your career in trucking. It only helps you develop those key and crucial skills that you need in order to set yourself apart and stand out from everybody else in the crowd. And what I'm talking about when I say skills is the ability to lead. Because if you're a mentor or an instructor or a guide or a trainer out there, then you're leading people, and you're not leading them down the wrong path either, because being a mentor, being an instructor, it makes you and it keeps you on your game. Like you're always on your game because somebody's watching you. And so adding that layer and that level of expertise to your skill set, to your resume, it only helps you be a better transportation worker for the transportation workforce. It also helps you be a better communicator because you're having to teach and show and do things and help people understand. Being that mentor is very crucial. Being that trainer, that instructor is very crucial for communication. And then the other thing it does, it improves your communication skills because and collaborating and being able to work together with others, because being able to refine your ability to communicate and communicate clear and communicate effectively, these are all so vital and so important for navigating in our new future, especially as teams become more important and more technology driven. Communication becomes more important. And taking on the role of a mentor or a trainer or an instructor, it can help enhance your resume because it's a leadership position. It's a leadership role, and it demonstrates your initiative, and it demonstrates the fact that you can lead and you can develop others and help to excel others from a safety perspective, from a leadership perspective. And then the last thing that being a mentor or a trainer or an instructor can do is that it can increase your job security. That's probably the most important thing, because so many companies need trainers. They're begging for mentors, they're begging for instructors. That only increases your job security. It makes you more valuable to the company, and an increase of job security and making you more valuable only increases your bottom line. And that's what it's all about, is increasing your bottom line, being able to take care of your family, and being able to thrive in an economy that is ever changing, in an industry that is ever changing. So think about it. Think about being and tapping into being a mentor. Think about tapping into being a trainer. Think about tapping into being a classroom instructor. There's so many opportunities and openings out there. You have the knowledge, you have the expertise. Take that knowledge and pour it into someone else, because you can make the difference. And look, you can help your bottom line. So I want you to write that down. Write it down in your journal. Write it down on your action plan, on your to-do list, to look and seek out opportunities where you can be a mentor, a trainer, or a classroom instructor at a company to be able to add that skill set to your resume. Now, and the reason why I say this is because the job that we went through yesterday, the job in the autonomous sector, in the self-driving sector, they were looking for an individual who has some type of training, or classroom training, or mentor training, or has done that in the past. Again, it wasn't a requirement, but it was a desirable. And those desirables are what's going to set you apart from the people who just meet the requirements. So that's today's show. I want to thank you so much for being here. I hope this information was helpful to you. I hope something that I said today resonated with you. And if it did, drop it in the comments. Let me know. Let me know if any of this information resonated with you, if anything that I said today was new to you, new that you were able to think about. So, look, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I'm getting so many calls and messages and emails. Thank y'all so much for just tapping in and being here. I'm super excited. Make sure you're following me across all of my platforms. Look, sharing gems, dropping information, whether you need support in your career or in your business. I'm so thankful to you guys. You have an amazing rest of your day and enjoy your weekend. I'll see y'all next Wednesday, same time, same place. Bye.